Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk Easy. I'm Ben, your teacher. This is a place to read, listen, and learn English easily. Ready? Let's go. Today we have a new story about Barack Obama. He was the President of the United States, the first black president. This story is about his life from a boy to a leader. At Talk Easy, stories are simple for A1 and A2 students. We use easy words and short sentences. You can read, listen, and understand. It's fun and not hard. What's the story about? Barak was born in Hawaii, a sunny place with beaches. He lived with his mom and grandparents. Then, he moved to Indonesia and learned a new language. Later, he returned to Hawaii, went to school, and played basketball. He studied hard and went to college in California and New York. After that, he worked in Chicago, helping people with jobs and homes. He met Michelle, got married, and had 2 daughters, Malia and Sasha. Barak wanted to do more. He worked in politics, making rules to help people. He became a senator. Then he ran for president. He traveled, talked to people, and said, "Yes, we can." In 2009, he won and became president. Everyone cheered. This story has 10 chapters. Each one is short and easy. You'll see Barak as a boy, student, worker, husband, dad, and leader. You can learn new words and ideas like dreams and helping others. Now, get ready. The story starts with Chapter 1, A Boy in Hawaii. Barak is young, the sun shines, and his life begins. Let's meet him. Chapter 1, A Boy in Hawaii. Barack Obama was born on August 4th, 1961. He was a little baby then. His home was in Hawaii. Hawaii is a group of islands in the big blue ocean. It's a warm place with sun, sand, and water. People love it there. Barak loved it too. His mom's name was Anne. She was kind and smart. She loved Barak very much. His dad's name was Hussein. He was from a country far away called Kenya. But Barak didn't see his dad a lot. His mom and dad didn't live together, so Barak lived with his mom in Hawaii. Barak's mom worked hard. She wanted a good life for her son. Sometimes she was busy, but Barak had more family to help. His grandma and grandpa lived in Hawaii too. Their names were Madeline and Stanley. Barak called them Toot and Gramps. Funny names, right? They loved Barak like he was their own little boy. Barak's home was near the beach. The beach had yellow sand and big waves. Barak liked to run on the sand. He liked to look at the water. Sometimes he played with other boys and girls. They laughed and had fun. The sun was hot, but the wind was cool. Hawaii was a happy place for him. Every day, Barak woke up early. The birds sang outside his window. He could hear them. Tweet, tweet. He smiled and got out of bed. His mom said, "Good morning, Barry." Barry was his nickname. Many people called him Barry when he was little. He liked it. Barak ate breakfast with his mom. They had fruit, bananas and oranges. Hawaii has lots of fruit. It's sweet and good. After breakfast, Barak got ready for the day. He put on his shoes and a shirt. Sometimes he wore a hat because the sun was strong. Barak went to school in Hawaii. His school was not far from home. He walked there with his friends. The school had a big room with desks. Barak sat at a desk and listened to his teacher. The teacher was nice. She said, "Good job, Barry." When he answered questions, Barak was a smart boy. He liked to learn. At school, Barak read books. The books had pictures and words. He learned about animals, like fish and birds. He learned about numbers, too. 1, 2, 3. He liked to draw pictures. Sometimes he drew the ocean or the sun. His teacher put his pictures on the wall. Barak smiled when he saw them. After school, Barak played outside. He didn't have a bike yet, but he could run fast. He liked to chase his friends. They shouted, "Barry, catch me!" He laughed and ran. The grass was green and the sky was blue. Hawaii was full of colors. Sometimes Barak went to the beach with his mom or his grandparents. They walked on the sand together. The water was warm. Barak jumped in the waves. Splash! He got wet, but he didn't care. He said, "This is fun." His grandma Toot watched him and smiled. His grandpa, Gramps, told him stories about fish and boats. At night, Barak came home. He was tired from school and play. His mom made dinner. They ate rice and chicken. Sometimes they had fish from the ocean. Barak said, "Yum!" After dinner, he sat with his mom. She read him a story. The story was about a boy who dreamed big. Barak listened and thought, "I like dreams." Before bed, Barak looked out his window. The stars were bright in the sky. The ocean made a soft sound. Whoosh, whoosh. He felt happy. Hawaii was his home. He was a little boy with a big world around him. He didn't know it yet, but one day he would do big things. His mom tucked him into bed. She said, "Good night, Barry. Sleep well." Barak closed his eyes. He dreamed about the beach, the sun, and the waves. He was a boy in Hawaii, and life was good. Chapter 2: A New Home in Indonesia. Barak was a little boy in Hawaii. He lived with his mom, Anne. One day, his mom said, "Barry, we are moving." Barak was surprised. "Where?" he asked. His mom smiled and said, "To Indonesia." Indonesia is a country far away. It has many islands, like Hawaii, but it's different. Barak was 6 years old. His mom married a man named Lolo. Lolo was from Indonesia. He was nice to Barak. Lolo said, "Come with us, Barry. You'll like it there." So Barak, his mom, and Lolo packed their bags. They said goodbye to Hawaii. Barak looked at the beach one last time. The waves said, "Whoosh, whoosh." He was sad to leave, but excited too. They took a big airplane. It flew high in the sky. Barak looked out the window. He saw clouds and water below. After many hours, they landed in Indonesia. The air was hot and wet. Barak said, "It's warm here." His mom laughed and said, "Yes, Barry. This is our new home." Indonesia was not like Hawaii. The houses were different. Some had roofs made of grass. The streets were busy with people and cars. Barak heard new sounds. Beep, beep. He saw green trees and big fields. There were animals too, chickens and goats. Barak pointed and said, "Look, Mom." She nodded and said, "This is Indonesia." Barak and his mom lived in a house with Lolo. The house was small but nice. It had a garden with flowers. Barak liked the flowers. They were red and yellow. He ran outside to play. The sun was hot, but he didn't care. He wanted to see everything. In Indonesia, people spoke a new language. It was called Indonesian. Barak didn't understand it at first. He heard words like selamat and terima kasih. His mom said, "Selamat means hello, and terima kasih means thank you." Barak tried to say them. "Selamat," he said slowly. Lolo smiled and said, "Good, Barry." Barak went to school in Indonesia. The school was big. He wore a uniform, a white shirt and blue shorts. He sat at a desk with other boys and girls. The teacher spoke Indonesian. Barak listened hard. He learned new words every day. Soon he could say, "Hello, my name is Barry." The other children clapped. Barak felt happy. After school, Barak played with his new friends. They ran in the garden. They kicked a ball. Sometimes they saw animals near the house. One day, Barak saw a big lizard. It was green and long. He shouted, "Wow!" Lolo said, "That's normal here." Barak laughed. Indonesia was full of surprises. At home, Barak ate new food. His mom made rice and soup. Sometimes Lolo cooked fish with spices. It was hot in his mouth. Barak said, "Spicy." His mom gave him water. He drank it fast, but he liked the food. It was different from Hawaii. At night, Barak sat with his mom and Lolo. They talked about the day. Lolo told stories about Indonesia. He said, "This country has mountains and rivers." Barak listened and imagined them. He liked the stories. His mom said, "Barry, you're learning so much." Barak nodded. He was. Barak missed Hawaii sometimes. He missed the beach and his grandparents, but Indonesia was fun too. He had a new home, new friends, and a new language. He was a little boy in a big new world. One day he would go back to Hawaii, but for now, Indonesia was his adventure. Chapter 3. Back to Hawaii. Barak was 10 years old. He lived in Indonesia with his mom and Lolo. But one day, his mom said, "Barry, we're going back to Hawaii." Barak was happy. He missed Hawaii. He missed the beach and his grandparents, Toot and Gramps. He said, "Good," and smiled. They packed their bags. Barak said goodbye to his friends in Indonesia. He said, "Selamat tinggal." That means goodbye in Indonesian. His friends waved. Then Barak and his mom took an airplane. It flew over the ocean. Barak looked out the window. He saw water and clouds. Soon they landed in Hawaii. Hawaii felt like home. The air was warm. The sun was bright. Barak saw the beach again. The waves went whoosh, whoosh. He ran to the sand. It was soft under his feet. He said, "I'm back." His mom laughed. Barak lived with his grandparents now. His mom stayed in Hawaii too, but she was busy. Toot and Gramps were happy to see him. Gramps said, "Welcome home, Barry." Toot made him food, rice and fish. Barak ate and said, "Yum." He liked being with them. Barak went to a new school. It was called Punahou School. It was big and nice. He wore a uniform, a white shirt and shorts. He sat at a desk. The teacher said, "Hello, Barry." Barak smiled and said, "Hello." He was a good student. He listened and learned. At school, Barak liked basketball. He played with other boys. They ran on the court. Barak was tall and fast. He threw the ball, swoosh. It went in the basket. His friends shouted, "Good job, Barry." He felt strong and happy. Basketball was his favorite. After school, Barak walked home. He saw green trees and blue sky. Hawaii was beautiful. Sometimes he went to the beach with Gramps. They swam in the water. The waves were big. Barak jumped and laughed. Gramps said, "You're a good swimmer, Barry." At night, Barak did his homework. He read books and wrote words. He liked school, but it was hard sometimes. He wanted to do well. His mom said, "Barry, you're smart. Keep working." Barak nodded. He tried every day. Barak was happy in Hawaii again. He had his grandparents, his school, and the beach. He was growing up. He didn't know it yet, but big things were coming. Chapter 4. College Dreams. Barak was a young man now. He finished school in Hawaii. He was tall and smart. He liked basketball and books. One day he said, "I want to go to college." His mom smiled and said, "Good, Barry. Study hard." His grandparents, Toot and Gramps, were proud too. Barak left Hawaii. He went to California. He started college at a school called Occidental. It was far from home. The weather was sunny, but not like Hawaii. Barak lived in a small room. He had books and a bed. He said, "This is new." He missed the beach, but he was excited. At college, Barak studied a lot. He read big books. He learned about people and the world. His teachers said, "Barry, you're smart." He wrote papers with many words. It was hard work, but he liked it. He wanted to know more. Barak made friends in California. They talked and laughed. Sometimes they played basketball. Barak was good at it. He ran fast and threw the ball. Swoosh! His friends said, "Nice one, Barry." He smiled. Basketball helped him feel happy. After 2 years, Barak wanted a change. He said, "I want a bigger school." So he moved to New York. He went to Columbia University. New York was cold and busy. There were tall buildings and many people. Barak said, "Wow, this is different." He liked it. In New York, Barak studied more. He read about laws and ideas. He worked hard every day. He wrote and thought a lot. Sometimes he walked in the city. He saw cars and lights. It was not like Hawaii or California. But Barak said, I can do this. Barak had big dreams. He wanted to help people. He thought about his mom, his grandparents, and his dad in Kenya. He said, I want to make the world better. College was teaching him how. He studied and grew stronger. Barak finished college in New York. He was happy and ready. He said, now what? He didn't know yet, but his dreams were big. Chapter 5. Helping People in Chicago. Barak was a young man now. He finished college in New York. He wanted to help people. So, he moved to Chicago. Chicago was a big city with tall buildings. It was cold in winter. Barak said, this is new. He was ready to work. In Chicago, Barak got a job. He worked with people who needed help. Some had no jobs. Some had no homes. Barak listened to them. He said, I can help you. He worked hard every day. He wanted to make life better. Barak met many people. They lived in poor places. The houses were old. The streets were dirty. Barak saw this and said, this is not good. He talked to them. He asked, what do you need? They said, jobs and food. Barak wrote their words down. He worked with a team. They made plans. They helped people find jobs. They fixed houses. Barak said, we can do this together. The people smiled. They liked Barak. He was kind and smart. They said, thank you, Barry. Barak learned a lot in Chicago. He saw big problems. He thought about his dreams. He said, I want to do more. He worked long days. Sometimes he was tired, but he didn't stop. He wanted to help. Chicago was his home now. He liked the city. He liked the people. He said, this is important. His work made him strong. Chapter 6. Love and Family. Barak was happy in Chicago. He worked hard to help people, but one day he wanted more. He wanted love and a family. Then he met a woman named Michelle. She was tall and smart. She worked with Barak. He said, hello, Michelle. She smiled and said, hello, Barak. Barak liked Michelle. She was kind and funny. They talked a lot. They ate ice cream together. Barak said, this is good. Michelle laughed. They went on walks in Chicago. The city was big, but they felt happy. Barak thought, she is special. One day, Barak asked Michelle, will you marry me? Michelle said, yes. They were excited. In 1992, they got married. Friends and family came. Everyone danced and ate. Barak wore a black suit. Michelle wore a white dress. They smiled all day. Barak and Michelle lived in Chicago. They had a house. It was small but nice. Soon, they had a baby girl. Her name was Malia. She was born in 1998. Barak held her and said, you are beautiful. Michelle said, she's our little girl. They were happy parents. 3 years later, they had another baby. Her name was Sasha. She was born in 2001. Sasha was small and cute. Barak said, now we have 2 girls. Malia liked her sister. They played together. The house was full of noise and love. Barak worked, but he came home to his family. He read stories to Malia and Sasha. They sat on his lap. He said, "Once upon a time." The girls listened and laughed. Michelle cooked dinner. They ate together. Barak said, "This is my family." Barak loved Michelle, Malia, and Sasha. He said, "You make me happy." They were a team. Life was busy, but good. Chapter 7: A New Job in Politics. Barak was happy with Michelle, Malia, and Sasha. He worked hard in Chicago, but he wanted to do more. He said, "I can help more people." So he went to school again. He studied law at Harvard. It was far from Chicago. He read big books and learned about rules. He was very smart. Barak finished law school. He came back to Chicago. He said, "Now I know more." He worked as a teacher and a lawyer. He helped people with problems, but he thought, "I want to make big changes." So he looked at politics. Politics is about making laws for a country. In 1996, Barak tried politics. He ran for a job in Illinois. Illinois is a big state with Chicago in it. He said, "I can help you." People listened. They liked his words. He won. He became a senator in Illinois. A senator makes laws. Barak worked in a big building. He wore a suit. He talked to other senators. They said, "What do you think, Barak?" He said, "We need good schools and jobs." He wrote ideas on paper. He worked long days. Michelle said, "You're busy." Barak smiled and said, "Yes, but it's good." Barak helped people in Illinois. He made laws for children and families. People said, "Barak is kind." He listened to them. He went to small towns and big cities. He said, "I hear you." They clapped for him. He felt strong. Barak liked politics. He said, "This is my work now." He dreamed of more. He thought, "Maybe I can help the whole country." His family was proud. Michelle said, "You're doing great." Malia and Sasha hugged him. Barak was ready for bigger things. Chapter 8: The Big Campaign. Barak was a senator in Illinois. He helped many people, but he wanted to do more. In 2007, he said, "I will run for president." The president is the leader of the United States. It was a big dream. Michelle said, "You can do it." Barak smiled and said, "Let's try." Barak started his campaign. A campaign is a plan to win a job. He traveled all over America. He went to big cities and small towns. He said, "Yes, we can." People listened. They liked his words. They clapped and cheered. Barak talked to everyone. He said, "I want good schools and jobs." He said, "We can work together." People waved signs. The signs said, "Barack Obama." Malia and Sasha saw them. They said, "That's our dad." Michelle hugged them. The campaign was hard. Barak was busy every day. He spoke on TV. He shook hands with people. He said, "Vote for me." Many people helped him. They gave money and time. Barak said, "Thank you." He kept going. Barak ran against other people. They wanted to be president too. But Barak worked hard. He said, "Yes, we can." Again and again, people believed him. He was ready to lead. Chapter 9. Becoming President. Barak worked hard in his campaign. He traveled and talked to people. He said, "Yes, we can," every day. The big day came on November 4th, 2008. It was election day. People voted. They chose the next president. Barak waited with Michelle, Malia, and Sasha. That night, the news said, Barack Obama wins. He was the new president. People cheered all over America. Barak smiled big. Michelle hugged him. Malia and Sasha jumped and said, "Dad, you did it." Barak said, "We did it together." Barak was special. He was the first black president of the United States. People were happy and proud. They said, "This is history." Barak felt strong. He said, "I will work for you." On January 20th, 2009, Barak became president. He went to Washington, D.C. It was a cold day. He wore a coat. Many people watched. He put his hand on a book and promised to help the country. Everyone clapped. Barak moved to the White House. It was big and white. He said, "This is our new home." Michelle, Malia, and Sasha came too. They were a family in a new place. Barak was ready to lead. Chapter 10. Life as President. Barak was the president now. He lived in the White House with Michelle, Malia, and Sasha. The White House was big. It had many rooms. Barak had an office called the Oval Office. He said, "This is where I work." He wore a suit every day. Barak was busy. He made big decisions. He talked to people from other countries. He said, "Let's work together." He signed papers to make laws. Some laws helped people get jobs. Some helped sick people. Barak said, "This is good for America." At home, Barak was a dad. He ate dinner with his family. Malia and Sasha told him about school. He said, "Good job, girls." Michelle cooked sometimes. They laughed together. Barak said, "Family is important." Barak worked hard for 8 years. He was president until 2017. People liked him. He said, "Yes, we can," many times. He made the country strong. Then he said, "It's time to rest." He left the White House. Barak was proud. He helped many people. He said, "I did my best." His family was happy too.